Hey guys, welcome to Better Drums, the 10-week Church Drummer Challenge, week 3. If you missed weeks 1 and 2, please go back and check out those videos. Feel free to download those chapters as well. So we're working through the ebook. Here you go, there's a picture of it. You can download this ebook for free from my website, haroldheisen.com. And you can even download it by chapter, which is very helpful for the many of us who are experiencing internet difficulties right now. So check out chapter 3 or the videos and the chapters 1 and 2 previously. So this week what we're working on is broken 16th notes. We've already finished with 16th notes the other week, and a broken 16th note, I'll throw it up here, looks like this. So you've got a 1 E and then a 16th note rest, so where it's got the two types of, like almost like a flag coming over. That means it's a 16th note rest instead of an 8th note rest, which only had one of those, which we looked at, I think that was week 1. So what this sounds like then is this. So the way we count 16th notes, 1 E and 2 E and so below that you can see how you would count it. Here we go. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. And so in this chapter we're going to work through the 4 possibilities of moving that 16th note rest to the different positions. 1 E and, or in this case the one we're looking at, ah. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the next one. Now the rest is on and. This one sounds like this. 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E, Okay, wow, there's a typo there with the 3. Sorry about that. So it's not 2 3s in that bar. Alright, and then we'll move on to the next one, and in this one, the rest, you can actually see an example of it played as 8th notes. It'll sound the same on the snare drum because the snare drum sounds the same regardless of duration. And then for the 3 and the 4, you see the rest placed. And so this one sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Alright, and then on to the last one here. The rest is on the beat now, so it's resty and resty and resty and resty and So you'll notice that there are repeat brackets at the end of the bar there, so you could go ahead and repeat the pattern. Ideally with a metronome. You can download the app for free anyway, and it will help you improve your time, which is always a good thing. As drummers, we are timekeepers or guardians of time, so you can never have good enough time. So you should always be working with a metronome whenever possible, or music that has good time is also a good move. So here, just like the other chapters, after we get an idea of a rhythm, then let's try to apply it to a sight reading example like this, where we can try to apply the new rhythms while reading them in combination with rhythms that we've already learned. And so I'll go ahead and put quarter notes on the hi-hat, which would be like your metronome. So click, click, click. Here we go. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you could read along with that and you felt pretty comfortable about it, congratulations, you're actually reading really well by now. And these are the types of rhythms that as church drummers we're probably going to run into more often than not, is quarter notes, 8th notes, and 16th notes, and combinations of those with rests. So congratulations as you're learning how to read. So of course we want to see then, I mean, we're not trying to become sight readers for snare drum or anything like that. We want to become better church drummers. So then let's try to apply these ideas now to fill-ins in song. So Your Grace Is Enough from Chris Tomlin, and so you'll notice that the link is blue. If in the book you click that link, it takes you to that exact moment in Your Grace Is Enough where you can hear the drummer play what's notated there. So what that would sound like then is this. Okay, and so that's the fill-in for this particular moment in Your Grace Is Enough. Another one, and every chapter has multiple examples like this, so I think there's probably 11 or 12 in this chapter for fill-ins like this. Here I Am to Worship, and so I don't have a ride with me, I'll play it over on the crash, and then my tom, rack tom, floor tom. Okay, they're there. Hopefully the samples sound okay. Alright, so it sounds like this. Okay, so that's a Here I Am to Worship. Again, click the link. You can go back and click it again and again until you feel comfortable with, that you can see how it's written and how it sounds, and the two kind of make sense. So also last week then we were working on building up our foot and building up different muscle groups, especially the feet. The feet are such a pain really to build up, well, for me anyway. So it's something that it's not something that you can't do. It just takes time and effort and a consistent, regiment to be able to do it. And so you were working on playing eighth notes this last week and trying to build the 3 to 5 minute mark. If you haven't been able to play those patterns consistently for 3 to 5 minutes, continue to work on that until you build up that ability. But feel free to move on to 16th notes as well. And the goal here again is 3 to 5 minutes. And you hear these constant 16th notes in the foot all over worship music today. And in the new tracks that are coming out, I almost think they use it more now than they did a couple years back. I guess it also depends what kind of bands your church is playing, whose music you're playing. So this particular example, and again, the tempo will matter a lot, so you can start at 60 BPM and maybe try to work up to 90-ish. You could go a little faster than that even as you belt it up, but it would sound like this. Alright, so you just got this 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a in the foot, and you're playing 8 notes on the hi-hat with the snare on 2 and 4. And so again, the goal is 3 to 5 minutes on that. And if something, if something hurts, stop. If you can only make it 30 seconds, that's fine. And then next week try 40, and the week after that, maybe you can hit a minute or something like that. And that's something that you can work on even in quarantine without drums. You can put your foot on the floor, tap it out, air drum the rest of it if you want. So the goal here is, why not try to build up some kind of an ability on the drums that will help once things kind of get back to a little bit more normal. Okay, so also we're working on 16th note grooves. All right, so not just 16th note fill-ins that we did earlier, but grooves. So check this out. Here's an example from for King of My Heart, and it's got a crash ride, but I'll just play it on the crash for today. This pattern, again, you click the link, takes you to that part in the song. So this one sounds like this. Alright, and so that's that part of the song, that groove for that part of the song. Alright, and then another one, How Great Is Our God. I'm sure we've all played this, or you've heard it, and this is what it would look like if you played it, the way it sounds, right? Okay, so how great is our God? And then, of course, we're going to continue to work on rudiments. So far we've worked on the single stroke roll, the double stroke roll, and the single paradiddle. And so what we're going to do this week then is you're going to take those different rudiments, all three, but we'll just work on one now. So I'll just show you the one here. This is the double stroke roll played as 8 notes for 1 bar, and then jumping on the next bar you jump straight to 16th notes for 1 bar, and then you repeat. Alright, so it would sound like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and 2 and again here, use a metronome because being able to keep the consistent time as you jump from subdivisions is the most important part of it, I think. Otherwise, you can't use it. If you're going to speed up as you jump to a different subdivision, you can't really use it in times of worship without disrupting the flow completely, right? So here we go. I'll put the time here. 1, 2, so... Okay, or a little faster. Alright, so that's that. You could repeat it, maybe work on it for like a minute. And each day pick a different rudiment. So you don't have to do every rudiment every day necessarily. Depends also on how much time you have as well. So that's what we're doing for rudiments this week. Rudiments, always important. Great thing to just work out and get your hands balanced, which is a question I get all the time in clinics. How do I get my hands balanced? Hey guys, for those of you joining, thanks for joining tonight. I hope everyone is doing really well right now. So that was doubling the rudiments. So then we're going to take the idea of doubling the rudiments. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a. And let's apply it to the foot patterns from last week. So last week we were working on foot patterns that start with the hand. So 1 is like this. Or... And so we're going to take those, but we're going to use the idea of doubling. So exactly what we just did with that rudiment a moment ago, and then we're going to apply it to those hand-foot patterns that hopefully you're kind of comfortable with already at this point. And so in the book, there are video links where I play examples or where you can click a speaker icon and you can hear the examples. In this case, there are video links, and I'll just play those for you so you get a feel of what the content is in the book as well. So here we go, the hand-foot patterns, jumping or doubling the patterns from 8th notes to 16th notes. And then this week, we're going to end things off with a new group of hand-foot patterns. And so that's these. And these are the patterns that start with the foot. And there are 3 of them, but we'll just go over this one here. And so this one would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? And so there are 3 different examples of hand-foot patterns that start with the foot, and that ends off chapter 3. So I hope that this material is helpful to you, and that it's a means for you to learn how to read and improve as a drummer in your church. Thanks again to everyone who's joining and who's commenting. It's great to have you guys here with me tonight. If anything's giving you trouble, please leave a comment below, and on the next lesson we'll be sure, or I'll be sure to address that in some way. Hopefully I can give you something that can help you get through that material easier. I hope everyone is safe and well. Keep on drumming. God bless you guys.